Hello, you beautiful people. Welcome back to another episode. This video is gonna be a little bit different. It's gonna be like my other Genshin Talks video, where I just discuss something while doing something else. And today I'm just gonna talk about whether you should pull for Hu Tao or go for Itto, while farming a bit for my boy Kazuha, because he is a little under what he should be right now. 377. So weird. It's weird. And I want to bring him up because he's really good. I really like him. I just haven't been using him because my other team does not consist of him, and it's strong. But he's amazing, and I love him. And today is Diligence Day, so that helps out a lot. For today, I want to discuss Hu Tao and Itto because they are two very different characters in what they do, and I know that people are going to struggle with figuring out which one that they should rather go for. There's some of those out there who are going to be like, yes, I 100% want Hu Tao. There's going to be those out there who are like, yes, I 100% want Itto. I don't care about Hu Tao, or the other party could be like, I don't care about Itto at all. That's perfectly fine. They've already made their decision. But I think it's important to look into the pros and cons of each of them, and what they offer, how they're built, etc., before making any sort of final verdict, because you have a while. You have a while right now. Or Goro, or not Goro. Freaking. Where is it? Oh, hello! Before Itto comes out. So it's nice. I think it's about 2 months that he's going to be out. So if you do want Itto, you're going to have to wait a long time. But let's officially start with just Hu Tao. So, Hu Tao is an amazing character. She's already in the game, which helps. So if you already have her, you could go for her C1, which is her best constellation and the only one that you would basically ever want. Hey, we got some diligence. She was also like a very good solo character, because even though she like cuts down her health, her elemental burst allows her to heal herself up, so she could constantly just keep healing, keep dealing massive damage. Like, she's great at that. Also, since my last video, I have upgraded the living hell out of my Hu Tao. She was, I think in the demonstration, she was only at like 6 or 7 for both of these. And then I took footage later of when I had this at 8 and this at 9. And boy, do talent levels really matter with her. In the video, I was dealing like 26k against a boss, whereas like I go fight the boss now and I'm dealing about like almost 40k. Like, it's a very huge difference. But Hu Tao is a very good solo character. You're alive. She deals massive damage, an absurd amount, is very easy to build, requires little to no effort to build. To play, yes, it's quite a bit of effort, especially if you don't have her C1, which just makes her nice to play above the threshold. That's the another annoying part about her, or one of the annoying parts about her. You have to keep her below 50% health, else you're just not getting the most benefit out of her. But she does work very well with a lot of characters. If you did see my guide, it basically, the synopsis of it for team builds is just Jingshou, or literally any other Hydro or Cryo character, a shielder, and then whatever. Because she doesn't need anything really. She does everything herself. The only way to maximize her damage really is through elemental mastery boosts. So a lot of characters work absurdly well with her. She's also guaranteed to be one of the best DPS in the game, whereas since Itto isn't out yet, God knows. But I have heard good, like, I've heard that he's going to be very strong, but we still don't know, and we don't know if anything's going to change between now and... God, she deals so much damage. Between now and the time that he is released. Whereas with Hu Tao, we do know that she's like amazing. She's one of the big Liyue 3. Like, she's fantastic. She's also a Pyro character, which is one of the best elements in the game. I would say Pyro, Hydro, and Anemo are the best elements in the game right now, just because of their reactions and how absurd they are. Like, Hydro is, I think, the only element in the game that works with every other element really well. Yeah, like, I just hit that dude for 44k. Like, she's crazy. She's literally nutty. Whereas, we don't know that about Itto yet. We will, but not now. Another part about her that's really good is that she relies on her elemental skill, like, to deal an absurd amount of damage. Unlike Raiden or Kokomi, who relies on their elemental burst, because she doesn't rely on energy. She just relies on, like, what is it? How much is her off time? I think it's literally just like 5-ish seconds, which is enough to just go through the rest of your team, like I was doing in there. It's about like 7 seconds, which is enough time to just go through your other team, go through all their bursts and whatnot, and mess them up. Like, it allows you to, like, set up everything. Whereas other a character like Itto, spoilers, he's not going to have that luxury. However, Hu Tao does come with some heavier downsides, like, can you stop? Like, stop it. Like, her charged attack is annoying. Like, I will say, like, she's just annoying to play, to be honest. I don't like her. She's not my cup of tea. I will vouch for her. She is very strong. She hits like a truck, and she barely needs anything to help her. But without her C1, she's just annoying to play because of the constant stamina management that you're going to have to do, the jump cancels. Her C1 makes her so much easier and funner to play, or more fun to play. Whereas if you don't have it, she's kind of annoying and a hassle, and it's one of the big reasons why I don't like her. Another downside is that you get the most benefit out of her when she's like almost dead, which is not a comfortable position at all. Like, why would you want to be like close to dead when you could just be at full HP like every other main DPS character? There are people out there who don't want to deal with that, and that's perfectly fine. And if you don't want to, I would say just don't get Hu Tao, because she only does one thing. She only does that one thing really well, and it's only if you get her like below a certain threshold. If you don't, then just don't get her, because then you're just not using her. I should also mention that there's an overabundance of Pyro characters in the game, so you're most likely going to have a very good Pyro character main DPS. What did I just see over here? Oh, I can sit here? Well, this is pretty. Okay. But you're most likely going to have another main DPS Pyro character. Like, for instance, where is she? Xiangling. I haven't built her, because I also don't really like Xiangling. I don't really like Pyro characters, if I'm being honest. I have a Klee as well. I haven't built her. I know, I am sinning. I don't like Pyro. It's not my favorite element. I have a Diluc over there, pretty low. My highest are Yanfei and Bennett. Bennett at level 70. And because I don't really want to level him up more. Yanfei at 69 because it's a better number than 70. And then Xinyan because honestly, I kind of like Xinyan. she's kind of fun to me, but I feel like that's going to wear off very quickly. But I don't really have a lot of good pyro units, or pyro units that I like or have fun with. Bennett is just a really good character, and you should always just build him, so like, kind of have to with Bennett. But there is a huge amount of pyro characters and pyro DPS characters that are out, and I believe that Sino, the dude who we're probably going to get for the first banner of Sumeru, is also going to be a pyro character. Because I think that we're going to end up going through like a little bit of a pyro drought after Hu Tao. So this is going to be like one of the only chances to pick up a pyro character for possibly until like June-ish, which seems crazy. It is. And I'm not taking into account like characters like Yanfei and whatnot. I'm talking about like 5-star characters. Well, this is just a theory, but it's because the first banner that they put out was Ayaka, and Ayaka, if you don't know, was the character that they showed off, and they're like little year summary of like what they wanted to do. So and Sino is the next character after that for Sumeru. So I think that Sino is going to be like the first character that they're going to release for Sumeru. I might be wrong. Who knows? I don't know. My God. But that's just what I think is going to end up happening. And if he isn't the first one, then we're going to have an even bigger drought than I initially thought. Because that's going to be a lot of time without a pyro character. In which case, Hu Tao is a very good pickup here. Because not only is she one of the strongest pyro characters, possibly the strongest pyro character. No, Bennett. So one of the strongest pyro characters in the game. She is going to be the last one, possibly, for a long time. So there is definitely like a huge incentive with that. But when pulling on her banner, there is also something to take into account, that Xingqiu, her best support, is not on the banner, which is a little sucky. However, I would say probably her second best support. Or no. Would that be Zhongli? Well, then her third best support, Diona, is on the banner. So that does help out a lot. And it does also incentivize you to pull her a bit more, because Diona is amazing. She's literally amazing. I would definitely just recommend you pull the banner, to be honest. Because the 4-stars, even though they're like, some of them aren't like the best, like we don't know like much about Toma. Oops, killed her. Uh-oh. That's a scary thing about her. There are really good 4-star characters, and it's very worth it to pick up all of those defensive 4-star characters, because they're all defensive, they're all supports, and having like all of them just like in your back pocket for like Viral Abyss is just nice. But now for Itto. When he is released, he's going to be the only 5-star main DPS character in the game. Unlike Hu Tao, with being one of the many pyro main DPS characters, there's barely any, like, I think there's 2 sub DPS characters. 2 pyro sub DPS characters. Then there's 1 support, everyone else is a main DPS for pyro, and there's like 20 pyro characters. There's a lot of pyro characters. Whereas with Geo, I feel like it's the opposite. A lot of them are supportive, like very supportive. So there is a great incentive to pick him up in that he is the only person that he's competing with in that spot is Ningguang. And Ningguang has fallen off a bit. She's still amazing. I love her. She's one of my favorite characters to play. But she has fallen off. The chonky doodly boy might just be like a very good pickup because of that. So there is incentive to pull him in that fact. There's also the fact that Geo is a semi-global element, and by that I mean that Geo can be used in almost everywhere. The only spots that it can't be used in, like 100% like immunity type stuff, is against Geo Slimes. But when are you gonna be fighting Geo Slimes? Like, there's rarely any. There's none in Inazuma. There's a few in the corners of the map, that's like it. And then it's super effective against shields. So like the Geo Hypostasis, the enemies that have, what are they? The giant, I know exactly where one is, so I could like show you. But enemies with shields, enemies with like, I guess there's two types of shields. Like the Lolachurls, that type of shield, and then this type of shield, which I'm going to be showing you. Geo is able to destroy those a lot quicker than other elements, which is very nice because those can be super annoying. Whereas like Pyro, it gets like turned off very quick. These dudes with their giant Geo shields. And if I use a skill, boop, it's halved. Like, it's good. Whereas like Kazuha, it dealt like 2 damage to the shield. Possibly none, if I'm being honest. And I find it weird that Geo is the only the only element in the game where they work better on itself. It's very funky. I like it. So with Geo being semi-global, as an element, Chao and her Pyro element, they are not. Like, Pyro is everywhere. There are so many Pyro Abyss mages. You fight one like every 2 seconds, especially in the Abyss. They're everywhere. Now there's the freaking Pyro Hypostasis, which is just immune to her. There is a lot more incentive to pick up Itto in that way, because he has like no downtime. That's what I'm trying to say. He has no downtime in the overworld because he's a Geo character, which is very nice. I would highly recommend that you, if you don't have a Ningguang, you pick up Itto because of that. Because he could just be used anywhere. Like Jingshou, he can't deal damage to this. He can smack it a little bit, but that's it. Kazuha annihilates it though. Chao also does. That's because she's Pyro. Geo is an element that doesn't have that problem. It's Geo, Animo, and then physical. I would highly recommend that you pick up a character that you love from each of those elements. Possibly main DPS character. Kazuha can, I guess technically, be one of those if you have him at C6. But Itto also, since he's a main DPS character, fills that like gap very well. There's also the fact that he's a male character, which, if you don't know, we have a where's this character archive. Here we go. There is a vast amount of female characters in this game. There is, I believe, basically a crit ratio between male to female characters, where it's 1 to 2. For every 1 male character, I believe that there's 2 female characters, which is crazy. There's like not like a balance in that. Like, even just with the last few, how many characters is that? That's 6? I can't count. That's 7 characters. The past 7 characters that we have gotten are all female. And then we got 1 male. And then 4 female. Then 1 male. Then a female. Then a male. Then a male. Then a female. Then a male. Then a female. Then a female. It was better before, but then like Inazuma came along and then like everyone's a woman. It was weird. This is just weird. So I'm glad that they're adding some more males, because Inazuma really did a huge imbalance to that for no reason. Like I wouldn't have even thought like that Sayu would have been released with Yoimiya. I thought it would have been Toma and Ayaka to at least help balance it out, because they're like a pair. It's weird. It's just weird to me. Who should we fight? Let's fight the frog. So there is something good in that. He's one of the first male characters that we've gotten in a very long time. I believe that there's not only is it going to be a geo patch, but also a male-centric patch. And then it's, I believe after that, it's going to be back to female for the next, like, 2 or 3 patches. Okay, but besides that, male-female stuff, back to Itto. As far as I'm aware, unlike Hu Tao, he will be great immediately outside the box. You don't need like a C1 or anything on him. Like, of course, constellations will be amazing, but like, it's not going to feel like you're crippled when playing the character and have to like utilize something that you wouldn't have to if you had a constellation. He should be fine. I believe that he's going to be fine, and from what I know, he will. He's going to be completely functional, unlike Hu Tao, who's going to be a bit of an annoyance. Again, unlike Hu Tao, this was a positive for her. Whereas she is able to build basically into any team, he can't. He's very restricted in his team comps, which is the part that sucks about him. Yeah, I'm hitting for 41k. Like, he's nutty. I don't know if Itto will be able to reach those numbers. Who knows? I know nothing. She smacks. But whereas Hu Tao, whereas Hu Tao is able to like build into any team, essentially, can put anything on her, Itto isn't. He's going to rely almost 100% on Geo characters. However, his banner does come with his best support, which is really good for him, whereas Hu Tao, she doesn't. So if you're going to get Itto, you're gonna have to build 2 characters, which I think is fine, especially since that's going to be his best support. Like, God, Kazuha, you're amazing. There is another incentive to pull for him there, because unlike Hu Tao, he does have his best support. So he's basically almost coming out with a complete set. You just need one more, because his support is very limited. He might be limited, but his support is even more limited in what they require. Like a Kujo Sara, but for Geo. Like, it's possibly even more limited than that. I think even more limited than that. Like, it's going to be that you're going to need Itto with his best support, and then basically one of the other Geo characters, specifically Noelle or Zhongli. And then the other slot, who cares? Because at that point, you've done what you need to, but the fact that you have to put in those characters is a major downside in Itto and pulling for him. What else? Oh, another thing about him, which is a bit more into leaks, is that he's not going to rely on his elemental skill to deal damage. He's going to be more like Ball or Kokomi. So you're going to have to manage his energy better. However, since he works best in basically a full Geo comp, it's going to be fine. Like, it should be decently fine. He should have enough energy generation through them. I hope. If not, then oof. Yikes. But then again, you could always help him out with that, with like a Favonius weapon on one of the other characters, or even just a Ball as the final support. And then the last thing is that we don't know his final kit or what he's going to do, whereas we do with Hu Tao. Hu Tao is guaranteed. We know what she does. We know that she's amazing at what she does. She's one of the best characters in the game. She could smack like a truck. Like she's great. She's a great character. You can't go wrong with a Hu Tao. Whereas it's possible that Itto is not going to be as fantastic, especially because his versatility isn't the best. However, I have heard some things about Itto, good things, that because of him and like his weird, absurd, like I want Geo, nothing else, type of mentality to his team building, we might be going into like a little bit of a Geo meta, which sounds really stupid because this is a PvE game. This isn't PvP. So why is there meta? That sounds stupid. But that just might say how strong he is. I don't know how strong he's going to be. He might be absurdly overpowered. Oh, this is going to be annoying. This is going to be terrible. I hate this. Why did they do this to me? Why are you guys just standing there? Oh my god, I hate these things. How are you not dead? Oh, it's immune. Oh my god. I can't even snipe them with stuff. Hu Tao's broken. Yeah, that's about it. He's going to be a great character. I am positive of that. But how great is it comparable to Hu Tao? We don't know until he's released. We will never know until he's released. He's probably not going to be as amazing because so far they have not wanted them to be as amazing characters as the Leeway Big Three. So it's most likely better to just pick up Hu Tao and then just like run her through everything. And that's what I would personally, I would recommend that, even though I don't like this character. If you just want a very strong character, Hu Tao is going to be your the best pick between the two. Because not only is she guaranteed, but she's also one of the best elements, and then she also has a lot of team versatility. Whereas Itto does not have any of those luxuries. We know nothing about him. He's possibly one of the worst elements in the game. And, right? Is it second worst? I would say it's second worst. Behind Electro. Like still, because I think Zhongli's the only one that makes Geo a relevant element. So we don't know what he's going to do. We have him not being like a very good element, and him not having like barely any team versatility. However, you will be getting a character that he can work very well with out of the box, even though you're getting like a very similar thing with Hu Tao. With Hu Tao, once you get her, you probably already have a team that you could just plop her right in, and then she's smacking, she's going, she's running, she's doing what she wants. Whereas with Itto, you have to build a team around him. There is no way that you are going to be able to play Itto to the level that he is going to be amazing at if you don't build a team around him. And that is what I believe to be his like fatal flaw. And that is why I recommend you to build or to pull for Hu Tao. If you want, skip Itto. Honestly, I don't think that he's going to be like super fantastic. He's going to be fun. Every character's fun. But definitely go with who you want. I would definitely recommend Hu Tao more. However, there is also her weapon banner. We don't know what his weapon banner is going to be. His weapon banner is going to be actually like, if it comes up with his weapon on the weapon banner, which it probably will, that weapon's nutty. Like that weapon's really good. It depends on the 4 stars, and it depends on the other 5-star. There is a thing with this weapon banner though. It's absurdly good. Hu Tao's weapon banner is amazing. It has Homa, LGV of the end, and then the new weapon archetypes with the sack sword. Fantastic. Not only does Hu Tao use Homa, but like and is not only is it the best in slot for a lot of polearm characters in the game, but also there's Elegy of the End, which is a very good support weapon, and there's going to be a 4-star support bow character that's going to be released at a point, you know, Goro. It's obvious that he has a bow. It's obvious. That could be one of his better weapons, even though he is Geo, which means that EM is not going to be very good. However, I still think that his best in slot weapon as of right now is on that banner, because I think it's the 4-star bow, because of how, because of both Goro and Itto's elemental burst. I believe that they are very high, so it could be a very good idea to pull on this banner if you want Itto instead of going for Hu Tao, because you will be getting a lot of bang for your buck and possibly the best in slot weapon for his support. So all I wanted to talk about. I think that's all I wanted to talk about. With that, I will bid you all adieu. If you liked this type of video, please tell me in the comments. I would like to hear people's opinions and whatnot, and I do take them into account. I always try to, and it's weird, every single comment impacts me in like a way, I don't know, it feels personal, which is both a good and a bad thing. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next one, which is going to, I have an idea. I have a big idea, and I'll be working on it after this video. Bye bye.